Welcome in, guys. I am Pookie, I'm your Platinum Paladin, and I'm here to talk 2023 Game of the Year. Let's jump in. Alright, real talk for a brief second, guys. My voice has been a little rough lately, definitely in the recovering phase, but I wanted to talk about this year. Yes, we are going to be covering, as my usual Game of the Years go, honestly, games that came out this year, games that didn't come out this year, and as a trophy hunter, guys, we play a ton of games by default, but this really was a variety year, but this was also what I'm calling the year of the JRPG. We had so many JRPGs that we completed in 2023, guys. Between, honestly, it was Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, got platinumed. Crisis Core, Legend of Dragoon, Chrono Cross saw platinum this year. Sea of Stars is a platinum I'm currently working on. We're looking at Chained Echoes. Like, it is just non-stop as far as that genre, and I definitely don't want the idea being that, as far as my Game of the Year goes, it's only going to be within that genre, because we played tons of cool stuff. We played, of course, Resident Evil 4, we played some Theater Rhythm, Disney Dreamlight is still dogging us for that platinum, so there has been a lot that we have played, and I can't wait to just dive right in and check things out, because we have got a lot of great platinum trophies. We got a few favorite platinum trophies, which I have to narrow down to one. I would say there will be some, I guess, indicators for different games, like best new game that we played, best upcoming, that we're currently working on. So yeah, let's check out some of these games. Alright, crew, first up is the Best Soundtrack Award. This should be a no-brainer, honestly. This year was the year that I actually got to play the Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy game on PlayStation 4. This is a giant volume of almost every Final Fantasy game's soundtrack. So even though there were some great soundtrack runner-ups, a la Sea of Stars, Chained Echoes I mentioned earlier, this one is the obvious front runner. You can literally play anything. I've been playing Chrono Trigger songs on this game. Like, there is so much music, and honestly, the layout and the overall gameplay is just all there. But yeah, if you want to get completely lost, and I do mean completely lost in music just for the foreseeable future, this is the game. Final Fantasy music in general is amazing, so when you add this in here, you can basically think of any game, and it's there. I mean, and FF7 Remake even has stuff. They just added Final Fantasy 16 stuff. Romancing Saga's in here. I brought up Chrono Trigger earlier. Like, there is just all kinds of just honestly Square great music in here from the era. So this was a no-brainer for me as far as best soundtrack goes. Alright, crew, next up is our best in progress. This is a game that's currently going on for me. I just recently started playing the new Baldur's Gate. I was actually torn between this and Starfield, because both of these games are going to be monopolizing my time for the foreseeable future. But honestly, to be able to pick up a game and just not want to put it down is just an amazing feeling to have. And I've had a couple games do it this year. This one is one of them. Honestly, Baldur's Gate is just amazing so far. Again, I'm only a couple hours in, but I fully anticipate that that's going to rack up to a lot of time. The amount of just the wealth of content that's in this game over the small amount that I played, it's as D&D feeling as you can get, so you can make sure that you're building a bald paladin like me and parading around the world. Honestly, like, I think I only have one trophy so far. I've just been kind of getting into adventures, recruiting party members, Everything is really a roll of the dice. So much of dialogue and situations can be avoided just by knowing a little bit of your strengths. Like, I know that intimidation is one of mine, so I get bonus rolls when I actually attempt rather to intimidate people. Combat is really fluid. Dialogue options are honestly long, and I really like the amount of characters that you get very early on. Like, I feel like I've been recruiting all kinds of people so far, and honestly, that's what I want out of a game like this. I want to be able to just take a look at my party composition, find what works, find what's effective. And I do like the versatility of the game, the size of the game in general. Like, versatility in general, like being able to lockpick something with your rogue character, is one of my favorite things, because I don't have a rogue. I didn't make a rogue. I made a paladin. So having a party member that does the trick, it's awesome. I know we're watching the feed right now. More dialogue trees, more leveling up with the characters and stuff. I do love that you can just kind of build a base camp, but you gotta like kind of be smart with how you rest. Like, there's so many subtle things that are just so well done in this game, and that is partly why I chose this particular clip to show off. I don't want to show off too much of this game, just kind of the basics. I want this to be something you guys experience as well, and it seems like, just from what I've been playing, this is gonna kind of be a long haul of a game, guys. So like I said, it's best in progress for a reason, because I anticipate I'm gonna be messing with it for a while. Alright guys, you know full well it wouldn't be me if we didn't talk about the best platinum, the best journey of this year, of which there were a lot. Again, it was JRPG-a-thon, but the one that took them all, the biggest surprise to me, was when Legend of Dragoon hit. And suddenly I was playing a classic from my childhood with full-on trophy support, which, yes, I'm well aware the FF Pixel remasters are out there. I actually have the platinum in quite a few of them so far, but this one just hit a little bit different. The trophy list isn't super hard, and honestly, when I ended up completing it initially, it was just one of those where I locked in the platinum and I was like, you know what, the PS4 version has a platinum as well, so why don't we just do it all again? And honestly, like, it is such a great story. It's just one of the swan songs of the genre. The combat is super refined. The addition system is where it's at. The game, actually, when I got the PS5 Platinum Trophy, would soft lock anytime you transformed into a Dragoon. So fights like this one here with Zeeg were pretty much impossible. I had to keep using the rewind feature on the game, hoping that he wouldn't do magic on me so that I could actually complete the fight. So in that sense, on the PS5 version of the game, before they patched it, I played the entire game without being able to transform into a Dragoon. It was really hard. It was a fun challenge that I didn't expect to do, and it made the platinum that much more satisfying. So when it does come to 2023, the platinum grind was real for a lot of games, but this one in particular was just worth every second. Alright, next up we have our best mind-blowing explosion of pure awesome, and that goes to Resident Evil 4, the 2023 remake that just completely destroyed me, you guys. This game is pure awesome in every sense of the word. This is what survival horror is supposed to be. This is what action horror is supposed to be. This is what the benchmark for the genre is. Everything that Resident Evil 4 does in this game stays true to the original. Yes, I am aware that they cut a few things, but they did add a few things back as well with separate ways. And honestly, the amount of cut content is minuscule when compared rather to the other remakes, if we're going to have that conversation. I personally don't want to dive into that very much. I just want to talk about the simple fact that if you have not played Resident Evil 4 yet, you must. This is one of those that put the original really on its shelf, and it's hard to do that with such an amazing game. Like this game really just wowed me from the moment that I saw the marketing campaigns for it. I was like, oh, I don't know, RE4 doesn't really need a remake. And then as it got closer to launch, I was like, no, I really need to be on this bus, because wow, this is going to be something special. And it totally is. It lives up to every expectation one would have, whether you played RE4 before or whether you're coming into the genre. Honestly, even if for the first time you're coming into the genre and not from one of the remakes or something like that, come on in. Resident Evil 4 is a great starting point. It's going to get you into the series. It's going to make you want to know what happened in games before, and it really it truly does set the standard, like I said, for survival horror games. So honestly, this was the only game that was in contention for Game of the Year 2023 outside of the game that won, and we're about to talk about that in a moment. Alright guys, here it is, my 2023 Game of the Year. It is Sea of Stars. This was a game that I waited for quite a while to come out, and honestly, this is the definition of being well worth the wait. So for those of you who don't know what Sea of Stars is, it is basically a love letter to classic JRPGs of the genre, things like Super Mario RPG or Chrono Trigger. This is a game that knew exactly what it was from the moment I hit start. Like, from the get-go, everything was there. Any I guess trope or something akin to that you can think of in the genre, things like ghost ships, turn-based combat, job abilities, certain party members, honestly, it's all there. It's all there, all of it, every single one of it, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. In fact, oh god, I think my playthrough was about 40 hours, so it's a little bit slower, but I was definitely enjoying myself every step of the way. This game's incredibly well written, and anybody can pick it up. The combat style is kind of like Legend of Dragoon, with the kind of addition, pressing the button at the right time to get that extra hit in, but also you can do that when you're blocking as well to reduce damage. And then of course they add elements throughout the game, so when you're in a fight, early on you won't see these bubbles on hit, but as you progress through the game you'll see those coming out when you're completing additions and such, and you're able to use those to essentially charge up your characters and unleash all kinds of whooping, basically super damage with those. So it's all these little extra elements. Honestly, level progressions are super simple. You just kind of choose from a flat amount of stats and just go, which is actually pretty nice. I know over the years we've gotten a little crazy, things like the sphere grid, the crystarium, but yeah, just to have a nice traditional, like, everything about this game, if I could say one word, it would be traditional. Like, it says if you're coming from like Dragon Quest, this is going to feel super familiar, or again the aforementioned Chrono Trigger as well. This, like I said, this was just a game that did everything right. Narrative wise, it makes you care. It just encourages you to go out and explore the world, and what a beautiful world it is, by the way. Like, every dungeon, every open field, I just found myself over and over just, what am I looking at? This is amazing. the work that went in here was just so incredible. And yeah, that's beyond the story beats, because this had me a mile a minute. I laughed, I cried, I was getting rowdy, I was cheering, I was like, any potential emotion that you could have, it was there. I mean, like it really was there, and that just lends value to I guess what I would say is the games of old, where yeah, you're reading text dialogue and stuff, but the clever use of the music and the building of situations and fate and all kinds of stuff that just kind of play a role in this. It makes you think as a player, and it makes you value the characters within. Um, and yeah, every new party member had something special to bring. Like this is my game of the year because I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop thinking about the adventure that I went on. Like I have not got the platinum trophy for this yet. I will. And make no mistake, if there's a PS4 version, I will probably be doing that as well. Um, One great thing about this, honestly, is it was available on PS Plus, and it's available on Xbox Game Pass. So if you're curious about this game, you can dive right into it if you have one of those services. Honestly, like before I even decided to do my playthrough through PS Plus and start getting trophies, I had already bought the game on Switch. This was a game I knew I was going to own. It's incredible, and it just like to dethrone Resident Evil 4 after like RE4 was the bench. I was fully prepared that that was going to be the best game in the world to me for years to come, and literally months later, out comes Sea of Stars, and it was kind of cool as well. Yeah, little nod that it totally launched on my birthday, but that is not why I loved it so much. Everything else in between is what makes this game super incredible. So I would encourage you guys, definitely check it out. It is one of the absolute best video games I have ever played. It is my favorite video game. I will play it again. Oh man, yeah, I cannot sing the praises enough for how great this game is. And again, if you have an opportunity, definitely check it out. It's not one I would recommend anyone sleep on, because the versatility in combat's there, the story's there. And again, it just never overstays its welcome, guys. So that is going to wrap it. Of course, for 2023, we have tons more games to get through as 2024 starts looming. So let me know in the comments, what did you guys think of Sea of Stars? What did you guys think of Resident Evil 4? Are you in Baldur's Gate right now? What's going on over there? I want to hear from you guys and what your favorite games this year were. And as always, gang, if you need to stay up to date with all things on my channel, you guys know what to do. Drop a like and subscribe for more great content. Have a good one, guys.